Right, yes, we're back. It's Friday, and it's a wonderful Friday because we've got quite a lot of news for you this week. Welcome to Gay Detroit Radio. I'm James D. I'm your host, and we're getting into show 15. My God, Tempus Fugit, he says. Well, let's start off with, in Florida, the Sunshine State, yes. Florida, the federal judge has now struck down the Florida same-sex marriage ban, but the ruling is stayed as usual because what they're doing now, they're waiting for the judge to strike it down, and then they're coming out with a motion to appeal. So the U.S. District Judge Robert L. Hinkle in Tallahassee had ruled that the ban added to Florida's constitution by voters in 2008 violates the 14th Amendment, the guarantees of equal protection and due process. Hinkle issued also a stay delaying the effect of his order, meaning no marriage license will be immediately issued for gay couples. That also means that couples legally married in other states will not immediately have their marriages recognized in Florida. Hinkle, an appointee of President Bill Clinton, compared these bans on gay marriage to the long-abandoned prohibitions on interracial marriage and predicted that both would be viewed by the history of the same way. When observers look back from 50 years from now, the argument supporting the Florida's ban on same-sex marriage, though just as it's sincerely held, will again seem an obvious pretext for discrimination. Hinkle wrote his ruling to paraphrase civil rights leader, at an age where interracial marriage was struck down, the arc of history is long, but it bends towards justice. Well, not bending quick enough for me. Get over. Come on, let's bend. Let's bend these rules. What can I say? Also, this is a good one, same-sex marriage in UK. Actually, it was passed over 3 months ago. And believe it or not, in the last 3 months since same-sex marriages became legal instead of civil unions, 14,000 gay weddings in 3 months. Look at all that wedding cake. Figures regarding the number of same-sex marriages which took place after the introduction of the Marriage, which is Same-Sex Couples Act in England and Wales, has been released. 14,000 marriages took place in the first 3 months. I don't understand why people are really sort of saying, Actually, believe it or not, female and male couples, of the marriages, 56% were female couples, amounting to 796 marriages. Male couples made up the 613 marriages. So that really is rather interesting. The women actually are getting married. The females, the lesbians, are getting married more than the males. But we're catching up. So this is very, very, very good. Good. And in Luxembourg, this is really good. The Luxembourg's gay Prime Minister, Xavier Bettel, has now announced that he's engaged to be married. He's the third openly gay leader of a country and that has announced his marriage, or his engagement, I should say, to architect civil partner Gaultier Destiné. I hope I said that right. Though I'm European, I still have problems getting my tongues around other Europeans, and that really was meant to be a Freudian slip. Also, now in Russia, this is rather unusual. A Russian gay couple, they've married in the most fierce way possible through a loophole. A trans woman and her partner have managed to force a civil registry office to hand them a marriage certificate. The two brides have become the most kick-ass women in the world in marrying to protest against homophobia in Russia. Now, Elena Davis, a 23-year-old trans woman, and Alison Brooks, her 19-year-old partner, donned matching white floor length bridal gowns, I should say, and married at a civil register. The Civil Registry Office. Now, Davis, I should say, is still legally regarded as male. So the office had no choice but to hand them a marriage certificate. The couple said that officials chided them and appeared to be violent. And you see a picture of them. You can actually go to Gay Detroit Radio on Facebook and get all these news on my Facebook. And these two little brides, they look like two little Barbie dolls. Unbelievable. What can I say? Also, next week, I'd just like to remind you that the statewide LGBT and HIV anti-violence organization has just appointed a new victim advocate in Michigan. And Equality in Michigan welcomes Leah Tarakawak. Excuse me, I do apologize. It's Taraskovich, I think, and she's going to be on the show next week. I'm going to be interviewing her, so we'll be having a good, nice interview with a local girl now in Michigan. I'm just going to say Leah. I can't get the last name, but she's going to be in the domestic LGBT and anti-violence and HIV support. That's really going to be good. We're going to have a little music, and we might as well have Gabe Lopez, because I really do like his music, and it's called 'Cause You Like Boy.
Into the night, what you rise, what you want more. Don't promise not to bite. Taste out with love and your taste, 'cause you must. A drip on your tongue, introduce you to lust. The first taste on your lips, the first hand on your hips, and your eyes rock and roll back, back. And your world opens up, and you're ready for us, and the room fades to black, black, black.
Yes, welcome back to Gay Detroit Radio. Don't forget you can get us every Friday at www.radio-ob.com. Also, as well, if you don't get the show or you miss the show, you can actually get the show 24/7 on gaydetroitradio.com. That's www.gaydetroitradio.com. And that's 24/7. So that's cool. So that's click when convenient, my dears. Got a lot more to talk about. This also, don't forget, you can also get us on get in touch with us at Gay Detroit Radio at gmail.com, and also Gay Detroit Radio on Twitter, Gay Detroit Radio on Facebook, and also you can get me James D on Facebook as well. Now, this is the silly section, which I really honestly find quite amusing. Now, there's 10 imminent catastrophes to prepare once gays are allowed to marry. So once gays are allowed to marry, there's 10 imminent catastrophes to prepare for. So here's number one, that incest will be legalized and people will be forced to marry their brothers and sisters. A former Conservative Party chairman, Lord Norman Tebbit, actually years ago was quite an uproar in the Conservative Party in England, mainly because he said that buggery, now buggery is a form of anal penetration, and it's called buggery in England, and so they kind of cloak it and that, well, I'll be buggered and things like that, and it's you silly bugger and God knows what. So they think that now also you're going to get buggered, you're also going to have to marry your brother and sister, your dogs, your sons and daughters, your sisters, and just really. And also because then rule number two is that God is going to be so enraged the skies will open with freak biblical storms. Okay, well, that hasn't happened for quite a... And here we come as well. Number three, the fight for rights for zoophiles begins. This is for, bestiality. So once that starts, then you can play with your horse. But also don't forget that, believe it or not, although homosexuality is now starting to become legal in a lot more states, don't forget, you can still legally have sex with your horse in 23 states in America. So bestiality has actually been here a lot longer than homosexuality legally. That is, legally, my dears. And churches and mosques will be compelled to perform same-sex ceremonies. Well, actually, no, because of Hobby Lobby. You know that wonderful thing that happened with SCOTUS, that you now have religious freedom. We never wanted to take away your religious freedom. You don't have to marry us. I didn't get married in church, but I'm still legally married to my spouse of 25 years. We've been together 25 years. We actually got married in New York, December the 3rd, in chambers by a high court judge. So trust me, we are extremely legal, my dears. And I did say in chambers with a high court judge, because ours important, my dears. And then tens of thousands of teachers will be fired for opposing equal marriage. Well, I don't see that's going to happen because, believe it or not, a lot more teachers are coming out, and a lot more students would prefer gay teachers because they actually give you the real outlook of life, and it's just ridiculous. Then Operation U-Tree will be called off. This is in the UK because there was an operation about getting rid of these pedophiles, and that actually included quite a lot of quite prominent English people, high-powered English people, and of course Rush Limbaugh had to get his little 2 cents worth in, and he's also the one that actually said that, the First Lady was a little fat. Well, that little prick has not seen his penis for the past 32 years without having to do a contortionist move called clutching his ankles. But that's another story. And he was also the one who said that if Obama was once re-elected, he would move to Canada. We're waiting on your exit, sir. Please. And also, rule number 8, that consummation of same-sex marriages will cause the devil to come out of your anus. Well, only Pope comes out of mine, but that's another story. And the first Star Wars inspired Jedi marriages will commence. Who made that stupid rule? And the resurrected Jesus will be forced to marry a man. Well, is he going to come back? Because he's already been at once. Dear. Anyway, and this is another one. Spanish conservative Christian senator, that's quite a mouthful, she says to the boys, is actually blaming all the gays now for the country's $1 trillion debt. Do you know, if we have this much power, why is it we're having to fight for equal rights? And I can assure you, if we were responsible for the country's $1 trillion debt, trust me, every place and every house would have curb appeal. We'd have everybody accessorized and everybody would have wonderful meals. So please, get over yourself. Good heavens. Also, a Mormon college has actually removed the Hallmark gay marriage cards from bookstore shelves. We guess that the Brigham Young University students that want to send their well wishes to their married gay friends and peers and family will have to look beyond the college bookstore for their cards. Because apparently they don't want those same-sex marriages in those damn Mormon colleges. But they can have 50 wives. Now, Florida has just actually done it's banned the amendment to the Constitution, making that same-sex marriages will now be legal. But also in another county, a Florida county is actually unanimously banned atheists from delivering invocations at public meetings. Now, where is the freedom of speech here and the freedom of religion or non-religion? Because although, yes, I'm gay, I'm not an atheist, I do believe in God, but you're also taking away somebody else's freedom not to believe in God. The county commission in Brevard County, Florida, voted unanimously on Wednesday to prohibit atheists from offering invocations at public meetings. Now, that to me is completely illegal because you are taking away people's freedom of speech. That means you are forcing people to believe in a religion that they don't believe in. And I'm totally against this. Totally. Although I'm not an atheist, I do believe in God. Just because I'm gay doesn't mean to say that I don't believe in God. I do. There is a higher entity. There is a God. But what I don't agree with is man-made rules. The man-made rules of how you should actually believe in God and the man-made rules of how you should live your life under God and the man-made judgments of how they judge how you should live your lives. You have no right to judge my life. I will not allow you to judge my life. I will not tolerate you to judge my life. You have no rights on that department. I like my life. It's a good life. We're going to have a little music now. And actually, this is by a young man called Cullen Blue. And it's called My World. I like his music. He's going to be on the show either next week or the week after. A young, aspiring young singer. And he's very talented. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Gay Detroit Radio, which is at www.radio-ob.com. That's every Friday at 9 p.m. Don't forget, if you miss the show, you can get us 24/7 at www.gaydetroitradio.com. That's our real official website, but we like to work with www.radio-ob.com because they do a live stream and we love them because they love us too. I'm James D, and you're listening to Gay Detroit Radio.
was 21. Life had just begun. Slipped up his boots and ran out the door, jacket in his arms, looked at the stars, jumped in the car as he said goodnight, put into drive as he drove out of sight, radio blared, gel in his hair, ready for the night, the boy prepared. Pulled up to greet the club-bound spot, parked as he ran from the parking lot, ID out, he was feeling free, ready to move in the dark with his drink, entered the bar with a sense of joy, nothing could stop this boy from the love of the beat and the shuffle of the feet. He stopped as he looked at the crowd, then he said, music, it moves me, music, it soothes me, brings me to life. Music, it kills me, music, it thrills me, all through the night. Stomp on the catwalk, pop from the backdrop, lord of the dance floor, fire in the disco. Give me a sign that you feel me, you see me, you hear me, dancing my life away. Ashley was 23, wanted nothing more than to dance to the beat. She had her sneakers on, hands in the air, strutting up and down those stairs. Shot after shot, she was feeling free. Let the music move her feet, moving that ass, shaking fast, making the boys say damn as she passed. Didn't give a fuck about the hate, dancing through the night to clean that slate. Stars in her eyes, smile on wide, looking for a message in the sky. Feeling so good as she dropped the step and never stopped once just to catch a breath. Didn't want to worry, didn't want to fight. This was a night to make it right. Pulled him to a boy as she kissed his lips, wrapped her arms around as he gripped her hips. Tension grew hot from between the two. He whispered in her ear his I love you. Her heart beat fast, she began to twirl. Nothing could stop this girl from the love of the beat and the shuffle of the feet. She stopped as he looked in his eyes and then she said, music, it moves me, music, it soothes me, brings me to life. Music, it kills me, music, it thrills me, all through the night. Stomp on the catwalk, pop from the backdrop, lord of the dance floor, fire in the disco. Give me a sign that you feel me, you see me, you hear me, dancing my life away. So get your ass up as you turn it up. Put your hands high if you feel the touch. Don't control it, feel the soul, and don't hold back, just let it go. Let the music move you deep inside. Let the music give you a sense of pride. Tonight's the night, it feels so right. So bring it to the chorus one more time. Music, it moves me, music, it soothes me, brings me to life. Music, it kills me, music, it thrills me, all through the night. Stop on the catwalk, pop from the backdrop, lord of the dance floor, fire in the disco. Give me a sign that you feel me, you see me, you hear me, dancing my life away. Music influences me, music influences, it feels so right.
Yes, the wonderful dulcet tones there of Colin Blue and My World. Like I said, he's going to be on the show next week. And it's either next week or the week after. And don't forget, we're going to have the wonderful Leah next week. She's with the Anti-Violence and HIV. And she's just been appointed in Michigan. So I'm really looking forward to talking to her. All right, more news at the good old front. Now, this one's... this is really good. This is Fayetteville, Arkansas. The city council in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Good God, my mouth today. I think I need a vodka. Early Wednesday approved a controversial LGBT inclusive non-discrimination ordinance, becoming the first city in Arkansas to enact a law prohibiting discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity. It's about time. By a 6-2 vote, the council approved the measure following nearly 10 hours of public discussion and debate, reports the Fayetteville Flyer. The new law actually means that landlords and business owners could be investigated and prosecuted for unjustly evicting or firing someone because of their sexual orientation, gender identity, socioeconomic background, marital status, and even veteran status. The ordinance calls for the city to appoint staff members to investigate complaints from residents who feel that they've been discriminated against during household transactions even, employment decisions, and other public accommodations in Fayetteville. That's really good. It's about time, because it's just, it's equality. It runs into so many different things. Now, it's just... I was saying last week, in Michigan alone, they're expecting, just in the marriage market alone, expecting an influx of $53 million within 3 years, the first 3 years. Also up to 500 more jobs, which I think is grossly actually undersurveyed. I think there's going to be a lot more jobs. Listen, weddings create opportunities. Weddings create jobs. Weddings create economy. Weddings create a lot more employment and jobs. And I've just said all that. So even if you don't agree with it, I keep saying this every week, just jump on the cash cow. Means money, 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 money. And unfortunately, that is the bottom line with everything now, because all the states are all folding to the same-sex marriages, and it's not because of politics and religious freedoms, because that's pure bullshit, and you know it. It's down to the filthy lucre, the good old green stuff. Yes, it's down to the bottom line as usual, and the bottom line always wins, because if you play with the economy and you boost the economy, you win. If you're trying to do this and just do this because of spite, you're going to lose. Because actually Florida, I believe, I said this last week, they're trying to actually introduce a bill whereas that you cannot appeal anything on civil rights anymore using government funding. Now, this is a great idea because at the moment, nobody is using their money. They're using the tax money. They're using the government's money. So therefore, they don't care how long it takes or how much money it takes because it's not their money they're playing with. So Florida is trying to introduce a bill saying that if you want to disagree with the government, use your own money. Well, we'll see how many people are going to dig into their pockets. Because there's one thing. If you think a gay marriage, a same-sex marriage, is going to interfere with your marriage, there's something wrong with you, not us. Because if you have a problem with a gay marriage, then you're probably gay yourself. See ya. Okay, now here's something that I find, this is again once into the establishment thinking that they have more power than they actually have. It's like schools here now are they're turning against a 13-year-old transgender girl. But yet, how many children commit suicide in our establishments, our schools run by these so-called God-fearing, worshipping people? Thousands and thousands and thousands of children are committing suicide under their watch. But that's okay, because that's bullying, and they shouldn't be here anyway, according to them. But yet they will focus on a 13-year-old transgender girl because she's not actually dressing appropriately as they think. But yet, thousands and thousands and thousands of children, your children, left in their responsibility, are committing suicide, breaking your hearts and breaking your homes because they think it's their way or nothing at all. But these are supposedly God-fearing, worshipping people. These are not Christians. These are idiots. So anyway, a 13-year-old transgender girl has been allowed to return to school after being previously told that she was banned unless she dressed as a boy. Rachel Pepe of New Jersey, who attends the Thorne Middle School, has now been told she will be allowed to return to school. She was previously told by the school that she would not be allowed to. Her mother, Angela Peters, told Ashbury Park Press that the school demanded that she dress as a male, refused to call her any other name than the one on her birth certificate, and claimed they couldn't provide toilets for her. She said, what about letting her go to the bathroom in the nurse's office? They rejected that idea. They definitely can't call her Rachel because her birth certificate is Brian. She said, Rachel was going to school last year as Brian. I'm not sending her back as Brian because the depression will start again. She will not get off the bus and she will just cry. Then she will go to sleep for 17 to 20 hours and refuse to go back there. I knew from a very, very early age that I was gay. Probably like 3 or 4, I just knew it. There was something. I just knew it. It's not different. It's just I knew I was attracted to the same sex. This was from a very early age. You fight it for years and years and years because of peer pressure, because of parent pressure, because of grandparent pressure, because of friends pressure, because of everybody's pressure, because of educational pressure, because of political pressure, from religious pressure, from every pressure known to man. You are brought to actually think that you're a freak. You're not a freak. You're a human being. And this is why we have equal rights. And this is why we're going to have equal rights. Stop picking on people because you don't understand it or you fear it. If you fear it, there is something wrong with you, not us. We're not here to be feared. We're just here for equal rights. If you fear us, there is something radically wrong with you, because somebody who's really confident in their sexuality, in their personality, and in their performance in life, they don't fear anyone. They accept and they don't tolerate, because you don't have the right to tolerate us. Also, there's something here as well. Gina Miller, a trans teenager supportive mother, she said that she should be put in prison for aggravated child abuse. Now, this is the Barbed Wire content editor and columnist Gina Miller. This is just the 13-year-old girl we were just talking about. Gina Miller. This is the idiot. She is really disgusting creature. She turned around and says this boy's lunatic mother should be put in prison for aggravated child abuse. This is totally, utterly sickening. Our nation is going to pay dearly for embracing this demonic perversion and pushing our kids headfirst into it. What we're doing is trying to teach our children acceptance of other people's lives. You do not have the right to judge other people's lives. Gina Miller, you're a total idiotic shit because you're a nutcase. You do not have the right to judge. If you don't get your own shit together, you can't actually judge other people's lives. And still on this idiotic part of the show, here's something I actually found rather difficult to believe and rather scary. A victim of an anti-gay hate crime, Luke O'Donovan, was actually sentenced to 10 years for self-defense. The family and friends are rallying in support whilst attackers are still remaining free. This is scary. This is in Atlanta, Georgia. Luke O'Donovan, a survivor of a homophobic attack in Atlanta, was sentenced on Tuesday, August the 12th, 2014, for 10 years in prison on charges that he assaulted those who attacked him. Let's go back to December 2012. December 31st. O'Donovan was attacked and beaten and stabbed by at least 5 men shouting homophobic slurs on a New Year's Eve party. O'Donovan defended himself with a pocket knife and left the scene, receiving treatment for stab wounds and injuries to his head and body at the Atlanta Medical Center. Hours later, the police arrested O'Donovan as he was receiving treatment, charging him with 5 counts of felony, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. A superseding charge of attempted murder was actually handed down to O'Donovan at a later date. This is one man against 5 other men. And now they are free, and he's serving 10 years in jail. This is certainly not right. This has definitely got to be looked at. This is why we need equal rights. This is totally disgusting. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to James D. That's me. That's on Gay Detroit Radio. That's at www.radio-op.com. Once again, if you miss the show on Fridays at 9 p.m., we do have a 24/7 click when convenient site, which is www.gaydetroitradio.com. We're going to have a little music. How about a little bit from listening to this section? How about some Wicked Games from myself, James D. at Gay Detroit Radio. Yes, welcome back to Gay Detroit Radio and the wonderful sound there of Wicked Games from moi. I'd like to get this little section here now, and it's sort of the hopeful section because there's some good news and some stupid news and some actually nice news. And this actually really pleased me. A wedding venue must pay $13,000 for refusing a lesbian couple's wedding. Now, a popular New York wedding venue just discovered the high cost of discrimination. Liberty Ridge Farm describes themselves on their Facebook page this way: agricultural service, public places, and attractions. It was the public places that did them in, because the owners of Liberty Ridge Farm in Skagit-Coke, or it's somewhere in uptown New York. I'm getting some real tongue twisters here this week. My God. They've actually been ordered to pay $13,000 in fines and restitution to Jennifer and Melissa McCarthy, who refused. They were refused an accommodation for their wedding because they were lesbians. Now, Jenny and Melissa, they decided on Liberty Ridge Farm, a popular venue for weddings in upstate New York, and it would be the perfect place to actually hold their rustic wedding. Which is hard to argue because Liberty Ridge it isn't in the wedding business. It offers wedding planning services, which it advertised on a wedding blog. Okay. So what I can't understand is, they're all looking for this like religious freedom and their right to choose. And I really personally wouldn't want to get married anywhere who really sort of refused my custom. If you were refusing my money because of your religious beliefs, then fine. But then again, if you're really into your religious beliefs, then you shouldn't actually sort of pay or actually subscribe or even endorse or condone people who are getting remarried because it's divorced. And getting divorced is against all Christian laws, apparently. I thought so anyway. Then again, of course, then you shouldn't then allow people who cannot get married because they can't procreate. That's another reason. Isn't this part of your religious freedoms as well? And then there's also the ones, let's face it, what was the other one? Escapes me right now, but it's procreation, and then it's because of your religious beliefs, because of divorce, and it's just totally ridiculous. Is it then what's your tax account numbers? We can't marry you because you can't afford to pay anything to our church in our collection boxes. This religious freedom is just totally ridiculous. So therefore, if they don't want to marry you, sue them, then tell them to fuck off, because really, they're just totally ridiculous. Now, this really got my goat. Holy bullies and headless monsters. Reality TV star has actually compared transgender women to sexual predators and other Tuesday midwives. Michelle Duggar records transphobic robocall opposing Arkansas's anti-discrimination bill. Mainly because this is it married at 19. Now she claims to fame that she is a Christian and has 19 children, and in the religious reality that more than qualifies her to make ugly robocalls comparing transgender women to child predators and for daring to use their public restrooms. Well, it would be nice if this woman could close her legs while she forms an opinion, because that's the only time she can form an opinion, is if she has her legs wide open, either getting screwed, inseminated, or giving birth to another fucking brat. Really? Disgusting. I have spoken. Now, Chris Clue. Very good news on this one. Anti-discrimination settlement gets 5 charities a substantial amount. A fired former NFL punter and LGBT supporter, Chris Clue, has reached a settlement with his former employee, and he says it includes a substantial amount for 5 charities. Good for him, because he was a star punter for the NFL's Minnesota Vikings. He was also a dedicated supporter of the LGBT community. Not gay, and still, you know, is like, he said, I'm straight, but not, oh God, what's that word now? Straight, but not bent, or something like that. I've forgotten the name. It's Josh Hutcherson or somebody. He goes, that's it, straight, but not narrow. So he actually spoke out for LGBT rights, and the Minnesota Vikings said, oh, no, 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 no. So they fired him. So big lawsuit. So he's actually dedicating a lot of the settlement, I believe most of it, to 5 charities. Well, good for him. And here's a little bit of news. Will and Grace memorabilia that is joining the Smithsonian LGBT History Collection. Okay. I went to the Smithsonian's and saw, Dorothy's slippers and all this, and I went over because Tony and I think it was the first year, my sister came over and we went to Washington, and we stayed just around the corner from the White House, and we stayed at a Marriott, I believe, and because at the weekends Washington is dead, it's either Georgetown or nothing for the weekends. But we stayed local, went to the local microbreweries, went to the local Smithsonian's, and of course we got lost as well because Tony said, well, the hotel is next door to the Smithsonian's. Well, which Smithsonian? Ha! But we had a great time. Anyway, so in Washington, hundreds and hundreds of photographs, papers, and historical objects are going to be documenting the history of LGBT people and are being added to the Smithsonian's Institution Collection last Tuesday, including items from the popular Will and Grace show. The show creators David Cohan and Max Mushnick, along with the NBC, are donating objects to the National Museum of American History. Wow, good for you. That's excellent news. Well, we're going to have a little more music. Actually, I'm going to give you some more music from Colin Blue. And this one's called Rise. And hopefully, in fact, I'm sure he will. I think he's going to rise to the occasion. I'm James D, and you're listening to Gay Detroit Radio. That's every Friday at 9 o'clock at www.radio-op.com. And if you miss it, 24/7 on www.gaydetroitradio.com. I'm James D, and this is Gay Detroit Radio.
Trying to catch my breath. Lately I've been trying to clear my head. Lately I've been wondering what the fuck is wrong with me. Staring at the clouds and asking why. Why am I the one to fight inside? I wish I had the answer, but I'm no genius. And any other man would say, just trust in Jesus. I gotta find a way out of this dump that I call home. But I never try to move out my comfort zone. So I'll wait for my chariot awaits, and I'll never land, I'll never come back down again. Oh, yes, I'll wait for my chariot awaits, and you'll never see me, you won't believe me, watch me fly. love to keep me high. Never had that chance to say goodbye. Never had the nerve to speak up and say why I was crying. I was dying deep inside. I never wanted anyone to see that side. I wish I had the answer, but I'm no genius. And any other man would say, just trust in Jesus. I need to find the strength and fast. Time is running low. But all I do is sit and stare, beg for hope. So I wait for my chariot awaits, and I'll never land, I'll never come back down again. Oh, yes, I wait for my chariot awaits, and you'll never see me, you won't believe me, watch me fly. Watch me fly.
Yeah, it's a good old sound there of Cullen Blue and Rise. He's going to be interviewed on our show very soon, if not next week, the week after. Also next week we do have the wonderful Leah, and I'm not going to try even pronounce her second name, but she's being welcomed into Michigan, and she's the anti-violence and the HIV. She's going to be protecting all of that. There's going to be lots of new laws, and I'll actually explain more when we see her. But now we're getting into the last section of the show, and there's a little bit of silly sections here, you know, and actually this one I really did like. Did you know that lesbians are more likely to have orgasms than straight women, according to a new research? The study published by the Journal of Sexual Medicine has found that lesbians report experiencing orgasm during sex 75% of the time with a familiar partner, and up from 62% from straight women. Guys. Shame on you. Bisexual women are least likely to experience orgasm, with at least just 58% experiencing regular orgasm. Despite the variations amongst women, a similar percentage of gay, bisexual, and straight men experienced orgasm during sex, with 85.1%. So guys will do it anyway. They just put it in a hole. Give me a beer. Where do I put it? Well, guys, yeah, well, you know what? I mean, that's not surprising. You know, guys, 85.1%. Just look at it. It'll pop. Yeah. Oh, that's just totally ridiculous. Oh, that really is. Also, there's a young gay blogger Dalton Heinrich channels his inner Carrie Bradshaw in a new post published on gayguys.com. And he said, why is it a social norm of ours to be in our late 40s, going out clubbing and bar hopping multiple times a week? He writes, of the hundreds and hundreds of grown men I know, why is it so few actually grow up? And he's saying, you know, that's saying that if you are over 40, you should stay out of gay bars. Well, this prissy little prick who's only 23, who probably just about knows how to use his small little penis, is obviously talking out of his ass. A very large ass by the looks of it. So it just, you know, really, I was never this disrespectful. Obviously, I was young a little while ago, but I was never disrespectful. I just don't understand why they have to be just so prissy about it. I mean, what is your problem? Please, you know, just just totally ridiculous. So this 23-year-old who thinks his word is better than anyone else's says that if you're over 40, you should stay out of the gay bars. Well, I've seen a lot of you 20-year-olds, and trust me, you're fat, flabby, balding, don't brush your teeth, and you look like shit. So, you know what? I prefer somebody my own age, and I know, actually, I would prefer actually to be with somebody who knows what they're doing, not some prissy little cow who wants to shoot his mouth off quicker than his two-stroke penis. Simple as that. Now, this is rather interesting. Gay country singer Josie Greenwell becomes a straight singer, Nate Green, and he's threatening to sue those who question him. Josie Greenwell was actually an openly gay country music artist who once dated the Brazilian model Rodney Santiago and graced the pictures of DNA in his underwear. But apparently his record label dropped him when they found out this dashing, beautiful young man is gay and said, no, 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 no. So now he's come back as Nate Green. So Josie Greenwell is dead. He's dead, my man. And Nate Green is back, but he's going to sue anybody who actually questions him about his sexuality. It's a shame, really, that, you know, in this day and age that you do have to hide your sexuality, especially in the entertainment world. It's totally disgusting, really. But what can I say? You know, just I sort of blasted my closet doors open when I was 18. They were just like splintered and sort of annihilated because I was not going back in that closet. And many times I've been in the entertainment world for many years, and they've said to me, well, you know, can you tone it down? You know, do you have to be so gay? Well, I'm not so gay. I'm just me. I just got a big mouth. A big, big fucking mouth. You know what I mean? Anyway, last but not least, I'm going to end the show with this one. A beautiful story, this is. A 99-year-old great-great-grandmother sets the 100 meters record at the Cleveland Gay Games. 99-year-old great-grandmother Ida Keeling set an international sporting record at the Gay Games in Cleveland, Ohio. That was on Tuesday last week, I believe. Becoming, was it the week before? No, it was last week. Becoming the first person in the 95 to 99 age category to run the 100 meters in an internationally, excuse me, oh, good heavens, internationally certified race. Keeling ran the race in 59.8 seconds. Taking only 50 seconds more to complete the 100 meters dash than any of the professional athletes. Well, I'm telling you something, God bless you, girl, because you probably did it 5 minutes faster than I would, and I'm nowhere near 99. God bless. She says, I'm running from old age and arthritis, Keeling told the Akron Beacon Journal. Believe me, I got it. She received, God bless this woman, 99 and running the 100 meters record at the Cleveland Gay Games. My God, God bless you, girl, because you really are very good. Listen, I'm going to leave the show now. And I'd like to leave it with, I like this song, and it's called The Streets of Detroit. I will be back next week at the same bad time, same bad place at www.radio-op.com. And if you do miss the show at 9 o'clock, it's 24/7 at www, click when convenient, www.gaydetroitradio.com. I'm James D. Thank you for listening to the show. Here's Gays of Detroit, and I will see you next week at 9 p.m. at www.radio-op.com. Bye now.